The Philippines is making bold moves in the South China Sea, sending a clear signal to China. For years, China expanded its presence while Manila struggled to respond. Now the Philippines is adopting a more assertive posture, strengthening its military and deepening alliances. This shift is not just talk, it's backed by action. The Navy and Coast Guard are patrolling more, escorting fishermen and exposing Chinese harassment. These operations assert the Philippines' sovereign rights and protect its maritime resources. The world is taking notice as Manila's actions reshape Southeast Asia's geopolitical landscape. This is no longer a local dispute. It has global implications for trade and security. Manila's strategy is a high-stakes gamble, but one it feels compelled to make. We'll explore why the Philippines is modernizing its military, the history of its disputes with China, and the reactions from Beijing and the international community. The Philippines is no longer a passive observer. It's becoming an active player, determined to shape its own destiny. This is the story of a smaller nation standing up for its rights against a superpower. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The Philippines' assertiveness is changing the rules of the game. Its actions are forcing other nations to reconsider their own positions. The region's stability now hangs in the balance. The Philippines is determined to defend its future. This is a pivotal moment in Asia's history. The main driver behind the Philippines' military buildup is national sovereignty. Its vast maritime territory, the West Philippine Sea, is rich in fish, oil and gas. China's encroachment threatens these resources and the livelihoods of Filipino fishermen. Filipino vessels have faced harassment and intimidation, crippling local economies. Manila is increasing its military and Coast Guard presence to protect its people and territory. Past diplomatic efforts failed to stop China's expansion. Beijing continued building artificial islands and deploying its maritime militia. There's now a consensus in Manila: diplomacy alone isn't enough. A credible defense is essential to deter aggression. The Philippines also seeks greater self-reliance, reducing dependence on the US. The new comprehensive archipelagic defense concept aims to build a force capable of defending the entire archipelago. This means acquiring new ships, aircraft and surveillance systems. The goal is a military that can stand on its own and guard its borders. The Philippines is determined to protect what it legally owns. This shift marks a new era in its defense policy. Manila is sending a message: it will not be bullied. The stakes are too high for inaction. The country is ready to defend its sovereignty. The Scarborough Shoal standoff in 2012 was a turning point. Scarborough Shoal, a traditional Filipino fishing ground, lies within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. When Manila tried to arrest Chinese fishermen, a tense standoff ensued. The US brokered a mutual withdrawal, but only the Philippines complied. China stayed and seized control. Filipino fishermen have since been blocked from the lagoon. This exposed the weakness of the Philippine military and sparked calls for modernization. The goal: raise the cost of aggression, not match China's might. Tensions have also flared in the Spratly Islands, where China has built artificial islands with military installations. These actions are seen as blatant attempts to militarize the dispute. The Scarborough incident and China's expansion in the Spratlys provide the backdrop for Manila's new assertiveness. The Philippines is determined not to lose more ground. Its military modernization is a direct response to these provocations. The stakes are national pride and survival. Manila's resolve has never been stronger. The region is watching closely. The next move could change everything. At the heart of the dispute is China's 9-dash line, which claims nearly the entire South China Sea. This line overlaps with the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. The origin of the 9-dash line is ambiguous, and China has never clarified its exact claims. This strategic ambiguity allows Beijing to maximize its leverage. The Philippines rejects the 9-dash line, insisting on the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, as the legal basis for maritime claims. UNCLOS defines maritime entitlements from land territory, not vague historic rights. This legal disagreement is the core of the conflict. China's insistence on the 9-dash line leaves little room for compromise. Other claimants must either accept China's dominance or push back. The Philippines has chosen to challenge the 9-dash line directly. Its actions on the water are a direct test of China's claims. The world is watching this legal and strategic showdown. The outcome will shape the region's future. The Philippines is determined to defend its rights. The stakes could not be higher. In 2013, frustrated by China's actions, the Philippines took China to court under UNCLOS. The case challenged the legality of the Nine-Dash Line, not sovereignty over islands. China refused to participate, claiming the tribunal had no jurisdiction. Despite the boycott, the case proceeded. In July 2016, the tribunal ruled overwhelmingly in favor of the Philippines. It declared China's historic rights claim had no legal basis and condemned its artificial island building. The ruling was a comprehensive legal victory for Manila. China rejected the decision and intensified its activities in the South China Sea. The previous Philippine administration downplayed the win, hoping for better ties with Beijing. The current government has reversed course, using the arbitral award as the foundation of its foreign policy. The ruling is now the legal cornerstone of Manila's assertive stance. The Philippines is determined to enforce its rights. The world sees this as a test of international law. China's defiance has only hardened Manila's resolve. The legal battle continues on the world stage. The Philippines is not backing down. The Philippines' assertiveness has been welcomed by its allies, especially the United States. Washington has reaffirmed its commitment to the Mutual Defense Treaty, covering attacks in the South China Sea. Joint military exercises like Balikatan have grown in scale and complexity. The Philippines has granted the US expanded access to its bases, allowing pre-positioning of assets. These moves enhance deterrence and send a strong message to potential aggressors. Japan has provided patrol vessels and is exploring deeper defense ties. Australia conducts joint patrols with the Philippines, while European nations increase their naval presence. This growing network of partnerships is a game-changer. Manila is no longer facing China alone. Integrated deterrence makes it harder for China to isolate the Philippines. The dispute is now internationalized, with many democracies involved. This multilateral approach raises the costs of Chinese aggression. The Philippines has turned a bilateral problem into a global concern. Its alliances are a key pillar of its new strategy. The region's security architecture is being reshaped. The Philippines is leveraging its partnerships for maximum effect. The world is watching this united front. China has responded to Manila's new strategy with anger and increased assertiveness. Beijing accuses the Philippines of provoking confrontation and acting as a pawn of the US. On the water, China has escalated its tactics, harassing Philippine ships and using water cannons. These actions are meant to intimidate Manila into backing down. China is also waging a propaganda war, painting the Philippines as the aggressor. State media selectively edits footage to sway opinion at home and abroad. Despite this, the Philippines' transparency strategy is winning international support. By releasing clear evidence of Chinese harassment, Manila is shaping global opinion. China's reputation as a responsible power is taking a hit. The coordinated response from the Philippines and its allies puts Beijing in a tough spot. China now faces a more united and determined opposition. The stakes are higher than ever. The battle for the South China Sea is as much about perception as power. The world is watching every move. The Philippines' bold actions are shaking up ASEAN. For years, the bloc struggled to take a unified stance on the South China Sea, hampered by China's influence over some members. Manila's assertiveness is inspiring other claimant states, especially Vietnam, to speak out. There's growing pressure within ASEAN to address the issue more directly and uphold international law. Ongoing talks for a code of conduct are now under greater scrutiny. The Philippines and its allies insist any agreement must be effective and consistent with UNCLOS. This could lead to new coalitions within ASEAN as some states align more closely with Manila. The bloc's unity is being tested, but new partnerships may emerge. The Philippines is forcing a regional reckoning. The future of ASEAN's role in the dispute is at stake. The Philippines has embarked on a bold new path in the South China Sea. Grounded in the 2016 arbitral award, Manila is modernizing its military, strengthening alliances, and using transparency to defend its rights. China's response has been hostile, but the US and other democracies have rallied behind the Philippines. What began as a bilateral dispute is now a major international issue. The risk of escalation is real, but Manila's actions have changed the strategic calculus. The Philippines has shown that smaller nations can push back against coercion. Its stand is a powerful example for others facing similar pressures. The world is watching to see how this courageous stand will shape Asia's future. The Philippines is determined to be the master of its own destiny. The path ahead is challenging, but Manila has made its choice. This is a defining moment for the Philippines and the region.